What is up, everybody? This is your boy J Trip. Coming at you another word according to me. This one is an article that I found on AskMen.com. It is different hookups you have in your life. The 4 different hookups you should have at least once in your life. This is by the Dating Nerd. It says on here, the Dating Nerd is a shadowy figure whose whereabouts and identifying details remain unknown. What do we know is that he is really, really good at dating. He's been on more dates than you can shake a lengthy bar tab at. And he's here to help the average guy step his dating game up a notch or several. Well, basically, he's a good-looking guy. Basically, yeah. Dating nerd, he's a good-looking guy. That's what that means. Okay. So, I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to read this, and then I'll either stop when I feel like something I need to talk about, or I'll just read through the whole article and then we'll discuss afterwards. So let's go ahead and let's get talking. Every hookup is just a little different. Frequently, hookups are fun for everyone involved, but sometimes they're a trauma-inducing nightmare. Some great hookups are actually hugely emotional too, and sometimes casual sex with the wrong person can break your heart. Though we often talk about hookup culture in popular discourse, there's really no such thing. There's just a whole constellation of different kinds of extra relationship boning. And if you want to have casual sex, you should know how to do it right, regardless of the circumstances. You should know how to have fun without wounding anyone emotionally, or more importantly, without making someone feel like you've taken advantage of them. This is especially true in the era of online dating and hookup apps. Now that hooking up is easier than ever, it is in the spirit that I am presenting now some advice on how to handle 4 completely different kinds of hookups. Once you've read it, you'll be able to live, love, and horizontally tango with more confidence. As always, guys, there's a link. Since I'm reading something from a website, there's a link down in the description box. You can click on that, read along with me, or after I do this, read it yourself. Number 1, the drunken hookup. Alcohol is basically inseparable from hookups. This is because we're all a little ashamed of how we want to get laid. Women are taught that they shouldn't want sex, and men are afraid to ask for it, out of justified fear of being rejected or coming off creepy. And we solve this problem as a society by getting everyone wasted. It's kind of a terrible solution that has some problems. Specifically, I'm talking about consent-related problems. As we all know, there's a pretty thin line between I'm drunk, but I'm basically know what I'm doing, and I have no idea what happened to me yesterday. In the former situation, your sexual consent is pretty meaningful. You know where you are, you know what you're doing, and the same goes for your partner, at an equivalent level of intoxication. But in the latter situation, consent is essentially meaningless. So it behooves you to be really careful about whether the slightly drunk person you've been hanging out with is actually way too drunk to meaningfully consent, which they could be. This is especially true from a male perspective, because women tend to have lower alcohol tolerance. Some people suggest that the answer to this is never having sex at all intoxicated. That seems admirable, but good luck, right? We all know that if you opt out of drinking, you opt out of a lot of casual sex, whatever your gender. So all I can suggest here is that you be really careful and make sure that in your hookups, the booze is here to break down a social boundary a little bit, not to totally obliterate your mind. What this means is that you get to watch how much your partner is drinking, check in with them about sobriety level continuously, especially before you do anything serious. Once I arrived at a party, and for whatever reason, a really cool girl immediately started hitting on me. At the time, we were a little drunk. 3 drinks later, she took me by the hand and led me upstairs to the upstairs bedroom. At that point, even though she was really eager to take off her clothes immediately, I asked her whether she was okay, and she said something like, "I feel like a cookie arrangement." When I asked her to clarify that statement, she was unable to. She was like totally hosed. And if I hadn't checked in, I never would have known. She was still kind of functioning enough to take my hand and say yes the next. She was still kind of functioning enough to take my hand and say yes. The next day, she texted me and asked whether we had sex. She didn't know and thanked me when I told her that we didn't. And then we, come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry about that, folks. Let's try this again. We're gonna take it off from she texted me. She texted me and asked whether we had sex. She didn't know and thanked me when I told her that we didn't. And then we hooked up that night on a more reasonable, a more reasonable amount of beer. Do that. Also, make sure that you're not so wasted that you don't have the presence of mind to be thoughtful about this issue. And listen, I disagree with this. You know, with this drunken hookup, because for me, I think there's two things. I think he's right. That you don't. And this is just me, my thing, and this is what I think all men should do. Actually, all men should do. I try to say, well, this is what I should do, but I kind of think, especially nowadays with the whole Me Too stuff and everything going, and we have this thing now, like with Aziz Ansari, and and now there's questioning about the woman who accused Aziz Ansari. Was it really a bad date? Was it really just a bad date that she was kind of complicit in, or was there actually some type of thing going on here where Aziz kind of forced himself onto this woman? I don't know the full details of it, but it does sound like that what this was that because I don't know if like I said, I don't know the whole story, but this does sound like this is not a full type of sexual assault, sexual misconduct type of thing. This really is just something where she didn't even though she was uncomfortable with it, she just didn't say no. She just went along with it. That's not what the whole Me Too movement should be about. So. Anyway, but my thing is yeah. I mean, I would not have sex with someone who was drunk that wasn't my girlfriend. I just would, and I don't care. I don't care if there is, I just don't care. Because that's just for me. Because I just wouldn't feel. I would feel like two things. One. She's just drunk and girl, I'm taking advantage of her. And I'm more than likely probably not going to be drunk. Even though I do drink, but I don't get drunk when I do drink. I haven't drunk in a long time. Anyway, but also there's my insecurities to come out where she's only sleeping with me because she's drunk. She doesn't really think I'm attractive, or she doesn't really like me. She's just doing it because she's drunk. And she's got beer goggles on. So. Yeah, that's what I would be about, but yeah, I would never do that. I advise any men to do it, and if you want to get you have to do it. I think you have to do it here, right? You have to do it with that guy. You have to ask questions, and you have to you have to take out your video, take out your video, your phone, and then your video camera, your phone. Take a video of it. Answer the question. So and so. I just want to make sure that you are okay. That it is okay that you and me have sex tonight. Is it cool? You have to. And if she says yes, then you have it in video and you can go for it. And but I just wouldn't do it at all. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't say not say any man should do it. Just you can wait. Look at this guy, right? he turned her down. He turned her down, and he still got laid. He still was able to get laid, hook up with the girl because he turned her down. That was she respected him a lot more, and then they actually still hooked up. So you can see, you can still hook up. You can still get down, and you don't have to be cuckoo blackout drunk. So he tells you right there. So, but I personally disagree with the whole theory of being drunk and hook up. I would just say no, don't do it. Girlfriend, yes, not just some chick in the club or anything like that. So let's go to number 2, the friend hookup. A lot of heterosexual friendships are poised at this weird precipice where you've never had sex, but it's always kind of low-key on the table. Maybe you've never been single at the same time, or it just hasn't come up at the right moment. And then one day your friend comes to your apartment, newly single, and you're pre-drinking before a party. She looks at you and says, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And you say, "Well, you look gorgeous tonight." And then you never made it out of your apartment. This is amazing. Congratulations. But you have to be careful here because there's rarely such a thing as a completely emotionless sex. Usually one party or the other feels some way about it, even if only slightly. Maybe you don't feel anything for your friend and you're just looking to get your rocks off. But that's not necessarily true of her. So you've got to be a good friend to the person you just had sex with, which means knowing where things stand. You should probably text her and say something like, "So that was fun, huh?" Just opening the lines of communication so she can communicate about it if she feels the need to. And needless to say, if it turns out that your friend has feelings for you and you don't keep having sex with her. Vice versa. Don't be heartbroken if your friend doesn't want to marry you because she just saw your dick. Just because somebody has sex with you, it doesn't mean they owe you anything. They do not. I would agree. 100%. Yeah, if you hook up with a friend, you have to go into it thinking that's all there was. Whether you have feelings for her or not, or vice versa, you have to go into it thinking that this was just a hookup. Now, maybe if you want something more, it will come. And like he said, if it turns out that she maybe wanted more, then you have to be man enough to say, I think this was just a one-time thing. I really had fun with you, but if you're looking for a relationship with each other, I'm just not this and that. And I also kind of think that this works in a way when you have certain things, when people have certain preferences and things like that, and certain deal breakers, and maybe they fall into one, but you're just so sexually attracted to each other. I think that's a good way to have a friend hookup too. Let's go to number 3. The online dating hookup. So the weird thing about online dating is a lot of people are on Tinder in similar acts because they want to get laid. And some people are on there to find long-term, meaningful partnership. And it is totally not clear often what people want. So how do you make that clear? Let me just stop you real quick right here. I'm on Tinder, I'm on Bumble. They make it clear. They say, I'm not looking to hook up, I'm looking for a relationship. So it's clear. Let's continue. Well, first let's talk about what not to do. Don't send an overtly sexual pickup line or a dick pic. Don't immediately send explicitly sexual messages. Yes, even though you have a female friend who sends nudes immediately all the time. Gender dynamics are really important here. Women receive unwanted sexual attention constantly, and men do not. Tailor your approach accordingly. However, do patience. Push the boundaries a tiny bit. Throw in a physical compliment that's not obnoxious once you've been texting for a bit. If she's not interested in giving the conversation a sexual tone, she just won't write back, which saves you time. You can now move on to the next lucky woman. Then, don't just invite her over. She knows that you're not a psychopath. Meet in a public place and have a drink or two, not 4. Then it goes back to number 1. Then just say the 5 magic words. Want to get out of here? This is a universal cross-cultural signal, and everybody knows what it means. Good luck. There are a couple other things you should keep in mind here. If you want repeat hookups, or if you're just a good person, you should probably clean your apartment in advance. And take a shower, dude. Also, make transportation easy. If she lives far away and is late, call her an Uber. Just don't ask, just do it. Just because we live in the era of dating on Tinder doesn't mean that chivalry is dead. Yeah, once again, totally disagree with all of that. The first part again, they tell you, that they're not looking for a hookup, they're looking for something like that. So you know it and you can swipe accordingly. But there are some that doesn't say that, and they just give you things on what happens. Then yes, you can go ahead and talk about everything that needs to happen. So I definitely think you should definitely start with this, and this is a good way. So I agree with number 3 as well. Number 4, the travel hookup. The best hookups ever, obviously, are travel hookups. You meet a beautiful woman at a bar. She has a conspicuous accent because she's from Norway. Why did you pick Norway? She's only in Manhattan for 3 days for a business trip. Could you show her around? Sure you could. And you do. And you fall a little bit in love. And the sex is amazing. Enjoy this. But remember that, like all other humans, you're just an ape with fancy pants. And you've fallen for the oldest trick in the book. Scarcity value. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is more interested if you know that the time with them is limited. So when your beautiful Norwegian leaves, you probably will, feel the instinct to jump on a plane and go stay with her and continue the romance. Well, maybe don't. There's a chance that it could work out. Most of the time, you'll discover that your perfect little romance was just a brief, lovely flutter in time, engineered by very specific circumstances. Just take it and move on, and hope that she has another business trip coming up. If you send her a dirty text now and again, if she's into it, and enjoy the rest of your sex life with other people. For more help on that, see sections 1, 2, 3. And that's the end of the thing. So yeah, listen, I think those are some great things. Again, like I said, we're gonna go back really quick to the first one, to the drunken hookup. I just wouldn't do it. However, if you want it, if you are really just one of those guys that just really wants to hook up and you just don't care, I would say, really, if you have been drinking, take out your phone, record her, ask her the question, make sure that you have consent, and I would really say, really, and be that guy, be like him, if you do take out your phone and you ask that question and you ask her, do you consent to us having sex? And she says, I want a cookie. Listen, it's not that worth it. I don't care how hot she is. Again, you see what happened to him. He got the opportunity. He turned it down, and he still was able to have sex with her later. Maybe that'll happen to you. Maybe it won't happen to you. Maybe because it's a combination of 1 and 4, right? Maybe it's this hot, beautiful woman who's going to have to go on, and catch a plane, the next day. But she's drunk. I don't know. But I would just say, be better. Be an evolved male. and turn it down, and if she's gonna go off and you'll never see her again, and it's she's gonna be she would have been the hottest woman that you someone like me, fat and ugly, and then you get this perfect 10 that wants to sleep with you. You have to just turn it down. Be a better man. Be an involved male. That's what you have to be. So this was good. Like I said, link is down in the description box below. Make sure you go and you check it out. Read it for yourself. So you guys have any thoughts on this? Put them down in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Trip signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there.